You think it's murder? I mean, clearly it's murder. What can I do to help?
Her Story is one of the most original video games of the year. The graphics consist of a police database and interrogation videos. That's all there is to it, but it's enough to captivate gamers the world over. It was dreamed up by English developer Sam Barlow. The game appeared on the market in late June. Sales have already passed the 100,000 mark.
When you play the game, you're sat in front of essentially a police computer from kind of 1994. So it's a kind of old-fashioned computer desktop. And when you start the game, there's already this kind of app open, this database app, which allows you to search through this police database. And within this database, there are lots and lots of clips of the police interviewing this one woman over the course of 7 interviews, talking about her missing husband.
Both form and content are a radical departure from the mainstream game production. Her Story is an independent game. It has no publisher, no big studio behind it, only an actress and a database. That was Sam Barlow's concept. After 13 years working in the gaming industry, he went independent, especially for this project.
Traditionally, the publishers have always had the power because they've owned the infrastructure. They've owned the distribution networks. Now that you can actually just, start a company one day and within a couple of weeks, you can literally put something up on the App Store or something and sell it like that.
Her Story is sold only online through platforms like Steam. Gamers pay about €6, nearly 70% of which goes to the developer. A trailblazer for indie game creators was Minecraft. It was developed by a freelance programmer and distributed by hundreds of thousands of devoted players on YouTube. Sales are now in the millions. Microsoft recently acquired the rights for over €2 billion.
Some independent game developers have been able to compete against the big publisher-owned companies because they can get to market directly to the consumers. They can get YouTubers to play their games, and this can result in the game being seen by millions of potential players.
The budget is the most obvious difference between indie games and big studio productions. Bungie's latest first-person shooter game, Destiny, cost a good €150 million to develop. By contrast, Her Story took a mere €90,000. What financial support Sam Barlow got came from other developers.
The big publisher-owned studios who are making AAA games are spending millions of dollars, but it's now possible, of course, to make games at a much smaller proportion of the cost. So the cost has fallen and the ability to get to market has increased.
Sam Barlow worked on his game Her Story for a whole year. It made its development costs back within 3 days. Success was not taken for granted, but it's the idea that makes or breaks an independent game and the courage to see it through.
I was thinking I want to do something that is all the things I'm not allowed to do if I'm working for a publisher. So all the things that are going to get vetoed by a green light committee or focus groups or whatever. These are the things that I'm able to do now because no one has to give me permission.
I'd like to speak to a lawyer now.
Her Story is likely to be just one of many more to come from the likes of Sam Barlow, a wake-up call to the big studios.
And all these stories we've been telling each other.
Shift